I'm going to continue looking at lettering, and so far I've shown how to create a new lettering object and create a new monogramming object. We've looked at adding borders and lettering art. We've looked at reshape and how you can use the reshape tool to make all sorts of edits and modifications to your letters. But there's one more sort of specialized way that you can edit your lettering. And so what I'm going to do is perhaps I'll just go Control A and delete, clean up my workspace, and I'll start a new lettering object. So I'm just going to type in again A, B, C, D and say OK. Place that on my screen, and whoops, I think I'll just increase the size of that a little bit. Alright, so here we have a new lettering object. Now, the specialized editing they wanted to talk about gives us the ability to do things like create one lettering object but have multiple colors or multiple fonts or multiple letter sizes. And so there's a specific way that you make this type of editing. And so let's zoom out a little bit. And I'm going to show you basically when I select a letter, or when I select the word, I have it selected, I could move it around or change its size and all those types of things. But when you have lettering selected and then come and click on the lettering tool again, it actually gives you a prompt right after the last letter. And you could actually go ahead and type in a new letter. So A, B, C, D, E. See, so it simply just gives you the ability to add. So I could do the same thing by double clicking, and it would give me the option to go to the lettering tab, and I could add in my E or my F that way. So the reason this is specifically different is when you select lettering and then you choose the lettering prompt, and you can see there the little prompt shows up at the end of my word like I was going to add another letter. But what I can actually do is, for example, if I click right here, it moved the prompt to be between the D and the E. Now watch what I can do. If I click here and hold my mouse key down and then drag my mouse over the D, I can highlight just the letter D. If I keep going, I can highlight the letter D and the letter C. So here I have two letters of my word selected, and what I could even do, for example, I could change their size. Right now they're 29.95. I could make just those two letters be 40 millimeters tall. And then when I guess click off, it makes that size change. So there's A and B at the 30 millimeter height, and C and D are taller, and E and F are back to the smaller size. So again, select the word, choose on the lettering prompt, and there's my letter prompt right there. So if I wanted to, I could, let's see, I've made C and D larger. I could select and make the letter B. Well, I guess I could make it smaller. Or why don't I change the font? So for example, come up to my font list, and maybe we'd like to have the letter B be in a fancy font like Cafe. And if I click again, it'll make that change. So now, even though I've made these changes, it's still one lettering object, and it's selectable and editable like it's all one object. So we've been able to combine things like different letter sizes, different letter fonts. I gotta keep going. Why don't I select the lettering again, take the prompt, and why don't we make the letter E a different color? So I select the letter E, come down on my lettering or my sort of color chart, click on a new color for the letter E, and then when I click off, it changes the color of the letter E. So even though it's all one object, it's got multiple colors, multiple letter sizes, and multiple fonts within one lettering object. And yet, if I go to the reshape tool, I still have all the same abilities to adjust the letter spacing or adjust the specific shapes of the letters with the letter font, with the letter nodes, the shape nodes. So this is your ability to do even different editing, really. So when you choose the reshape option, we've got the ability to adjust the letter spacing here, and yes, you do have the ability to adjust the letter size in here as well, and it's just a slightly different way of doing things than when you select the lettering and then click on the lettering again to get your lettering prompt, and then you go in and you choose your lettering, and you not only can you change the size, but you could change the color of it or the font. So if I decided that I would rather have this font be a blue and have a different font altogether, I could change the font and the color. Yeah. So, oh, it didn't take the color. Wonder why. Let's try that again. It changed the font and the color at the same time. Perhaps it doesn't like that. There you go. So as you can see, that's what I call some specialized editing to do with the letters. And I'm not sure how clear I make these things. I'm going to do it one more time since we're already looking at A, B, C, D, and say OK. Click on my screen. It places it on my screen. And it's in the color blue. Now I'll just grab on a corner handle, make it a little bit bigger, and click on the lettering handle to get the prompt. Click wherever you want the prompt to be. Click and drag to select one or more letters. Click to make the change. So maybe I want to change that font to be that particular letter to be red. And I'm done. So that's really how it works. And it's just a little bit of getting used to the idea of selecting a letter. Click on the lettering handle. Gives you the prompt. Click where you want the prompt to be. And then click and drag to select a letter and do whatever type of modification you want. Change the font or whatever it is. Okay, so that's all of the features that I had planned for creating embroidery lettering. But we will talk again about lettering, because in the next segment we're going to talk about using the graphics mode to create embroidery. And when we go to graphics mode, we also have the ability to generate lettering over in the graphics mode and then convert those to embroidery. So I guess we're not fully done with lettering, but that was all of the lettering functions that are found within the Easy Design workspace.